Far Sector, issue 4, N.K. Jemisin, writing with Jamal Campbell on the art. We ended issue 3 with the protest happening, and she's trying to talk them down and have the peacekeepers not fire on the crowd, and that becomes a big sort of thing here in this issue, is this debate with the peacekeeper about, this isn't peace, like firing on them is not peace, this is just causing chaos and anger. And it leads to kind of just a natural sort of companion scene to that, where she goes to the leaders and says, hey, like, this is bullshit, like, what are you doing this for? Like, and they reveal that this has actually happened like 12 times before, and they always just like overpower them and kill people and squash it, and like they've brought her in as someone different because she might be able to do something else with it. And she's, she has this show of power at one point where she kind of like blasts her ring at something to make it very clear, no, you're not going to be using violence with these people. It's not called for. But of course we see the peacekeeper like kind of plotting with someone else, like, hey, her ring's different from other Green Lanterns, there's no battery, it just has to kind of like recharge on its own over time, so once it's depleted she's vulnerable for X amount of time. So
yeah, and we kind of learn how long that is at the end of the issue. It says she's got like 8% left, but it's going to take 5 days to fully recharge.
Yeah, so 5 or so days for the full thing then, presumably. So yeah, so that's interesting. There's some teases as well for getting the ring. We see like one panel of like the ring being given to her, and that we know she has 1 year to make a difference to like prove herself.
I feel like, we got that in the first issue as well. Like it may have been these almost exact same panels, but we definitely got that. Also, we learned that her ring isn't as powerful either, though. As much as it doesn't need to be connected to the central battery and recharged like the same way, it's just not as powerful in raw strength.
Yeah. There's some interesting stuff here with the wife of the murder victim from the first issue.
Yeah, no, we're going to keep protesting this because this has got to be sorted.
Well, no, the line that really stuck out to me from her was, I can't even grieve. Which I thought was really interesting. Obviously, and this is not a new thing, but the book's really getting into is this idea that because they're experiencing emotions for the first time, they can't control them, and it's like causing these extreme reactions. And like the belief here is, no, like we're protesting because if we actually get used to having emotions, we can control them and like react accordingly. Like humans mostly do. Mostly.
Yes, exactly. And they want their goal is they want a referendum. It's a very democratic thing that they want out of this. They're not like, hey, turn it off right now.
Yeah, the leaders are not feeling the same way though. They're like, just let's squash this, and
although they do look pretty sheepish when she points out that, okay, so this has happened like 12 times before, but has it ever been handled? Has it ever happened when there's been like this epidemic of extreme emotion? Is the way she puts it. And they all kind of look at each other, and she's just like, face palms, and it's like, oh god, this is different this time.
Yeah, well, presumably because of the drug that's making them feel emotions for at least a short amount of time.
Yeah,
because it blocks the emotion exploit for a little bit.
Yeah, it says a lot that usually when society gets to the point, because it's like 12 times over like 1,000 years or maybe longer. When it gets to this point, they're still got no emotions. They just kind of get to a point where they wonder, maybe we should get to that, and it's still very subdued in comparison to this. Yeah, there's a murder. There's usually a murder, and there's usually a little bit of a riot maybe, but it's never quite this intense.
Honestly, this might be the best the art's looked, and the art's been good throughout the book, obviously. But like, I really like the art in this issue.
I'm not sure if it's any better than any previous issues, but I mean, it's been fantastic on all the issues anyway. So I mean, I don't want that to sound negative.
I think it's the colouring for me. I think this calmed down a little bit, and I prefer that. I prefer it feel a bit more natural looking in a lot of the panels.
That's fair.
So it's maybe just more to my taste, perhaps, than actually better. But I liked it better than the other issues. Not that the other issues had bad art. That is not what I'm saying. Let me make that very clear.
Yeah, that's why I was here, where I'm going, oh, it doesn't feel any better to me. But I mean, it was already at such a high level that not any better is still bloody fantastic.
Yeah. So let's see what Matt has to say about First Sector. First Sector, another great issue, hits the social dynamics entirely too well. Too much to gush about to write here. Art is beautiful as always, especially in the layouts this time. Love the references to Guy and John, and hooked into the mystery of her ring. So yeah, kind of echoing some of the same things. I will say actually one of my complaints with the last issue is that I was having trouble remembering like a lot of the mythology issue to issue. I think this issue actually recapped the key things that we needed to know at the first page, which was really nice.
That was interesting because it was an actual recap page, because it was whatever was happening. It was nothing to do with where we were in the story. The next page it picked up where we actually left off.
Makes me wonder if Jemison or maybe someone told Jemison that, hey, this is actually getting quite hard to remember, like what all the details are. And it didn't remind us of everything. Like it didn't go into the details of all the three species again or anything like that.
And there's actually no plot recap in it. This feels like you could put this at the start of every single issue unchanged.
Yeah, but it did help. It helped a lot just to kind of set you in the mood and put you back in the world again. So I will say that was a good idea. So Matt gave us an 8.5. What are you giving it?
God damn it, Matt. Yeah, 8.5.
I'll give it a straight 8, but I am digging it a lot. I'm liking what it's doing the more it goes on. Especially now that it's starting to feel like she's going to be against everyone and they're all against her, and she's got kind of this one lone ranger out in the...
Also, I want her to wear the green energy poncho the entire time, please.
Yeah, so it's raining, you see.
Yeah, but I just want her to wear that all the time because it looks cool as shit.
Waste of energy. Her ring's draining. She can't do that construct all the time. But the rain looked good at the end, which is maybe why there's as well like the art a lot in this issue.